So rice agriculture proves to be really profitable, and bolstered, supported by that, cities begin to emerge in the Ganges Plain around 500 BC, and they become centers of trade, of commercial exchange. Some, like Shravasati and Rajarita, they become artisanal centers where people produce specific goods. Others, a bit farther in the northwest, like Taxilla, which I show here in part of its old excavation, engage in trade abroad with places like modern-day Iran and Afghanistan. Um, Unlike Harappan civilization, where cities are really well planned and laid out, here development is haphazard. But they do share the same strong focus on sanitation. That's a tough one to say. Their squares had garbage bins, dirty water was drained into deep sink wells, streets were graded so that rain would wash them clean. A lot of you Franklin County folks probably know what I'm talking about, grading driveways there. And one of the things that's kind of tough is that these cities remain inhabited today, which means that people built and built and built on them. And so archaeologists can't really go in and dig very efficiently. An outlier there, or an exception there, is Taxilla, which was destroyed in the 5th century AD. And so there, people can go and they can dig around and they can get an idea of what urban life was like before that time period. So if we look into what Taxilla is like, and I'm going to riff on this for a little bit. Streets aren't well planned. The materials used in building isn't of the same quality as, say, in Mohenjo-Daro. But we do know about the garbage and the sanitation. Deep ruts in the streets suggest that carts, probably pulled by bulls or horses, went in and out of the squares. It's clear that there was a bunch of diversity in occupation. There's evidence for merchants, bankers, financiers, craftsmen who engaged in textiles, cloth production, tools like needles, fine pottery, copper plates, ivory decorations, gold, silver utensils. We know that they had physicians. We know that they had people who did laundry as a job, barbers, cooks, tailors, entertainers. So great diversity of occupations here. That elaborate division of labor tells us that there was a high degree of specialization and commercialization. Traders and artisans formed guilds, kind of cliques, groups, that helped them regulate competition, prices, and also set standards for quality and production. One of the things that develops is these folks have to marry within their own ranks to protect those monopolies. Guild leaders tend to become really powerful. They become important members of cities. They often advise kings and oligarchs. But here you see society kind of still closing around those ranks. Coins come into use here, and I've got some examples of them. This is about the same time that classical Greece and classical China also adopt this type of currency. Prices and wages are set at standard rates. Quality is set at standard rates. And traders and bankers establish municipal bodies that actually do things like issue coins and vouch for their worth. Most of them are made of silver. They're kind of irregular in shape, as you can see here, but they are a specific weight, which determines their value. They are punch marked. They're stamped with symbols, normally of royal authority, that indicates their value as well. Also, let's think about why coins are so important. They're easier to carry. They unite large areas. They show central authority. All of this creates both unique towns, but connects them to this broader Vedic culture. I'm going to stop this lecture here. What we're going to do in the next one is think about some folks from a religious perspective who kind of challenge these ideas, and then some folks from a political perspective who do it. So thanks for going through this lecture on the Vedic people. Next up, Buddha and the Mauryan Empire.